Hi everyone. Hi. Oh, here is my microphone. Now you can hear me. Hi everyone. So, what we have? Saturday, another Saturday. We are streaming every second week. Oh, good. I have a light now as well. Sun is shining here, so I was like fiddling with the light. Anyway, greetings to you all. Today we are speaking, and sun is gone. Never mind. I will come closer so you can see me. Yes, welcome everyone. And today what we are going to be talking about is how to reduce stress in relationship when we are dealing with something big. For example, when we are facing infertility. It is mainly for ladies who are dealing with infertility, but also it's for all of you who are feeling that you are being disconnected from your partner in your relationship. The same things apply, really. I mean, infertility is just one of the stress factors that causes a lot of tension and a lot of disconnection in our relationships, but there are many others. I had a friend whose husband's dad passed away, and her husband completely isolated himself to be able to deal with it. There are many stress factors in terms of COVID, in terms of our work, redundancies, family problems, children. So, welcome everyone who is looking to find out what else is possible in relationship with your partner and how to go about it. Okay, so my name is Lucia Hoxa and I'm a fertility coach supporting women all over the world on their journey towards motherhood. And I love it. It is my mission. It is that makes me feel like this is not my job, but I actually do it because I just love it so much, being here with you and for you and creating for you. And this is one of the reasons why I'm doing this streaming as well, because I do believe that there are important things that we need to talk about, and maybe we don't talk about it enough. So thank you so much for all your feedback and your lovely messages after my live streaming. That's why I continue doing so, because it looks like it still makes a difference to you. It looks like you're still getting something from it. And the common messages that I get are, Luz, like you're talking like I'm talking. So like you get me where I'm at, and what is in my life, and what is waking me up at night, and what is actually hurting my soul. So I'm very glad, and I promise you I keep on listening to you, and I hope that I'm learning to listen even better so I can deliver the value to you, so I can make a lasting difference in your life. So this is my mission, this is what I love doing, and thank you for joining me for today's live streaming. If you watch us from the replay, also warm welcome to you, and feel free to comment whether it's live, whether it's from the replay. I love to this to be interactive, so it's not like I'm a TV although I used to work in TV, but I like this to be interactive. So welcome Alenka, welcome sweetheart. I you know what, ideally I would love to have all of you on a camera, so we have a gathering and we can just be together, like you're going for a coffee with someone. So take a tea, sit back, and let's enjoy this. Okay, any questions? Also let me know. If you feel like happy commenting on in the comments below, please do so. If you want to send me your love like you did just now, please do so. I'm always happy. You had no idea how much it makes the presenter happy when someone sends them a little heart. It's such a silly thing, but we love it. We love it on this side, and we do feel your love anyway. That's probably why I'm connecting with you, because I can picture you, and it's not just a little phone I'm talking to, it's actual human beings. And that's how I treat my work, that with that level of humbleness of every single life being a great life full of great possibilities, but also filled with a lot of suffering. You know, we all have that. So anyway, without further ado, as English say, I'm not English, but let's start with our subject. And let's talk about how to reduce relationship stress while facing infertility. And please, you know, if you have any friends who are going through this journey, pass this on to them. You never know. You can make so much difference to these people. Just like even for them, hearing someone who is talking about things that they're experiencing is a huge relief. Like huge. I remember when I was on this journey towards motherhood, like I was really Googling, I was searching for women who will understand what I'm going through or who went through something similar. I wanted to watch their journey. I wanted to have some hope. I wanted to know how they are doing, whether it's just me like crying all the time, like that, yeah? So please share with love, because when we share, love, and when we share the love, it's not like a cake. You will never have less. It multiplies. And I promise you, karmically, it will come back to you anyway. So let's enjoy this. Let's talk about relationship. And for those of you who are joining, welcome. This is about relationships in general, girls. So, you know, stay on, because this is really about any relationship, not just infertility, ladies, but any relationships who are going through something challenging and where you still like each other, but love and passion might be gone because you went through something very difficult. So here is one thing that I say at the beginning, you know, any challenging situation in our lives has got two ways how it can go. It can bring us closer together when we feel more connected, when we support each other, when we find out we become stronger because of the whole thing, or it can do exactly the opposite. It will disconnect us. There will be pain. There will be what I call undelivered communication. And when there is undelivered communication, the pain, the resentment, the war, I call it war in relationship, you know, like he's wrong, I'm right. I need to have a last word. We all been there. I've been there. You know, so it's got a potential also go that direction. So, yeah, thank you, Lenka. So, you know, it is really about what do we choose. But is it that easy? I don't think so. I don't think it's easy, especially when we've been going kind of certain direction for such a long time, when we are even like getting lost and in it ourselves, and we are thinking, well, I tried everything, it didn't work, so how much difference would this make? So I'm with you, girls, if you have any doubts, but stay with us, because maybe there is something new, at least new perspective. Anything that I can support you and help with, you know, is going to make a difference. I'm winning in this because that's what I want. And also, while you are here with me, and do you want to know a little bit more, and this subject and my energy and whatever I've been offering for all those years resonates with me, join us for 17th and 18th of February when we are doing 2-day webinar. It's not whole 2 days. I know you're working, guys, so it's 1 hour in the evening on 17th and 1 hour in the evening on 18th of February, where we will be talking on this masterclass. We will be talking, it's online, about relationships. And you know what? We are going to have a lot of fun. We are going to learn a lot. We are going to have a lot of fun because we are going to understand men's world. Any boys listening there? I'm sure you're quite curious about what I'm talking about. Yes, men's got a different brains. Women's got a different brains. Yes, we are both human beings and we fundamentally want the same things, but our brains operate in different ways. So I will be talking about how to get our men to listen to us, but not in a forceful way, but in a very loving, understanding way. I'm going to talk about how to deal with men's frustration. You know, for men, frustration is the main emotion. Yeah, and the main value for man is respect. If he's not feeling respected, he's going to be frustrated. We are going, I mean, this is just a snippet. We are going to talk in more depth about, from perspective on neuroscience, how these creatures called men, which are, by the way, wonderful creatures, how they operate, how their brain operates. Now, I'm fascinated with it. And the theory was one thing. What is the best thing, girls? I'm going to show you how to apply it. So if you want to know the 3 secrets about how to apply this understanding of a man, boys, don't dare to come, because this is just between me and girls. I want to invite you on 17th and 18th. I will post the thing in the comments. If you want to have it now, send me a personal message, and me or my team will reply to. Anyway, I had the need to say this because when I was creating this masterclass, girls, I was like Alice in Wonderland. I was thinking, my God, we are going to have such a blast. We are going to laugh. And, last month on our masterclass, we did have a giggle, but this month is going to be a real giggle. And it is going to be interactive. So we are going to be learning a lot as well, and we are going to show you how to apply it in your own life, which is the most precious thing. Okay, enough. Let's talk about relationships, and how the few tips I'm going to give you today is about how to deal with challenges in relationships. Some of them will be obvious, some of them will be new. So let's go and do it. Send me your love and let me know where you are joining from while I have a sip of my tea. I've been drinking tea with ginger and lemon for several months now. I like it. Okay. So, yes, first things first. What is the tip number 1? It's very obvious, girls. You have it. Please give it to me. What do we need to do when shit hits the fan and where there is a challenge in relationship? What do we need to do? Great, Alenka is joining us from UK. What is the obvious thing that we need to do? Send more love. But what if I don't feel loving? Then he drives me crazy and I just want to hit him. Well, it is to communicate, including to communicate about when you want to hit him rather than hitting him. So for example, when my husband drives me crazy, and he does, and I love him dearly, I love him dearly. For those of you who know me, you know us. I'm just saying, exactly. I just want to, what I do is I learned this happened gradually, but what I do when I want to hit him, sorry guys, I don't use this language, but I want to make it real because this is real, right? I just say to him, Bloody, please get out of my way, or I'm going to remove myself because I'm just about to hit you. I'm so angry with you. So I say that, and I go. Normally on the terrace or on a balcony. I just remove myself from that situation, because guess what happens if I don't? If I don't, I become a dragon. Any dragon girls? The ones that are like firing this thing from the mouth, destroying everything and everyone around, including kids. Yeah. So remove yourself from the situation. It's very important. It's like SOS thing. Yeah. So communication, number 1. When things get hard, big explosion. Yes. When things get hard in our relationships, normally things get hard in our life in general, and then it transfers into our relationships. So, for example, when we can't have a baby, it's a huge emotional strain on us. So, what do? Well, we kind of retrieve from our partner. Alenka is saying one dragon girl, especially once a month. Yes, of course. Like our hormones totally does the the dragon thing, like as well as other things. So, what did I say? I don't know. I need to come back to it. Oh no, sorry, it was Adriana. Great. So what I want to say is that is important thing is to communicate, but like to communicate even like anger, but like almost like warn another person. Not warn, but yes, well, warn. I kind of warn my husband, saying, "Sweetheart, I'm just about to explode. Can you just please get out of my way?" And trust me, he's going. He's like packing, and it's like another room or something. But it works, and because that strong emotion, it never really lasts. So it's very important to remove ourselves from the situation, and then yes, communicate. Like we have a tendency when it comes time to communicate, we have a tendency to either not communicate and play like princess, or tell me what kind of styles do you have, play the victim, like poor me, you're such a bastard. Or what else do we do? I don't know, help me girls. You know what I mean? When we retrieve from the whole thing. Or we do the opposite. We go into, it's like silent aggression is when we retrieve, like they say that playing a victim is the silent form of aggression. Or, we go into offense, where from the space of pain, we blast. And let's say we say things that we don't even mean, don't we? Like, do you know that feeling? Like, afterwards you feel like horrible person, like monster. And then we feel guilty. Yeah. And we couldn't stop it in that moment. We totally couldn't stop it. So it is really important. And girls, I have a good news for you as well. I have a good news because if you do become a dragon and you destroy everything that is in your way, like in this family, I learned to work with this, but I remember, it used to be everything. I mean, it was proper Italian thing, smashing the furniture. Well, furniture no, but plates. Few plates gone now. But I've got a good news for you. In case you did become a dragon and you smashed a few plates, there are two very important things. Well, when this whole anger goes away, two things. Once you reflect, like allow yourself to reflect and ask yourself, where is this emotion coming from? Wow, like, because there is something out of integrity. There is some kind of pain that caused you to act in such a strong way. Are you with me, girls? Yeah? It's like there is something that drives you crazy and it's so painful, and it's like it's a reality in your head. Like, I don't know, like everything is on my shoulder and he's a lazy bastard and I'm the one who is running around him and he doesn't even appreciate me. What an asshole. And if you have this reality in your head, of course it's going to be painful because you are exhausted. You're feeling like you're doing everything yourself and he doesn't understand. Never mind appreciates you, yeah? So very important is to have a look, like where is this anger coming from? Maybe obvious things will come, but what come later is like, okay, what is over here with me, what I can take a responsibility for? So if it's that thing with exhaustion and feeling like everything is in my shoulder, maybe ask yourself a new question, like where am I not allowing this guy to take a responsibility? And I can hear you girls. You will go, yeah, but he takes forever. Or he just ignores me. He never does it. I have to ask him 5 times. I do it myself. Thank you very much. I've been there. I know. That's why on the Masterclass, we will be talking about how to allow your man to become your hero. Because girls, don't we really all want that? We really want that. We want to be taken care of. We want a man who will bring us breakfast in bed. Like, who wouldn't? I want it. The truth is, and I want to whisper it to you, please don't let your man listen, but hand on our hearts, okay? All of us now. We do it ourselves. We do it ourselves. Because in our head, we can do it better. He is so slow. You know, my husband, when he's washing the dishes, it's like 5 dishes. It takes him like, okay, let's be honest here, 15 minutes. But it's like, for me, it's like, don't you have anything better to do with your time? Just like polishing the dishes? And I was like, argh! Because I'm thinking, well, I've got a list of things for you to do, and if this should take you 15 minutes, what about those 10 minutes you could have done something else? Like, fixing something. Yeah? So you're with me, girls. Anyway, Adriana is saying, silence is mine. Yeah, as well. It is like a way of punishing him, right? If he doesn't listen, I want him to go out of my way. Yeah. So if your man doesn't listen, you want to punish him because you don't listen to me. We feel like we are not important to them. And then what? We want him to feel the pain that we feel. Because for a little moment, it makes us feel better, right? So Adriana here, she goes silent. Alenka is laughing as well. Yes, exactly. She goes silent. So, we give him a silent treatment. So eventually he goes like, what's wrong with you? And then it makes us even more angry because we go like, oh, now you noticed. I shut up for 2 days. Where you've been? Or something, yeah? But definitely it doesn't work. So girls, first point, communication. I drifted. My God, I've done 1 point for 23 minutes. But I hope you really get that I really get your world. Because I've been there. And that's, everything what I'm creating, girls, I went through it myself. And I was seeking really help myself first. And then, once I started applying it, because it's another whole ball game to actually apply it, I got and it started working, and it started making a difference in my relationship, and and I realized that we are getting closer and closer together to each other with Billy as the relationship grows. You want to share it like a best cake, so that's why I'm inviting you to our webinar. And Adriana said, exactly 2 days it takes. You see, I know. Some girls are toughies, like they can go for a week. I can never do that. But yeah, it's not effective because it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. So I will show you the ways that it works. So communication, first thing. Another note, I'm just looking at my notes here, is very important is, now talking about infertility, but even in general, is connecting in different ways. So communication is one obvious way, and we know that we have 5 languages of love. So what's another way to connect with a man? You know it, girls, come on. What makes your man happy? Full tummy. What's the second one? What did I say? Yeah. Is empty balls. And yes, first thing that we do when we are facing real challenges in life, what do we do? Yes. What do? We don't want to sleep with him. Yes, of course, because guess what, girls? Like, men want sex all the time, even when they have an argument with us, unless it's something really bad or big or it's lasting for a long time. They still want to have a sex because it's a way of emptying for them. not just, physically, but also emptying in terms of the, men's energy is from inside out in everything. And so, they need to empty this residual energy, this anger, this frustration, and it does work, like that's why they're so calm and happy after sex. Or, well, they fall asleep most of the time. Anyway, I'm talking about all the realm of sex, by the way. I will be doing a webinar on intimacy, so lots to look forward to. My assistants are already looking forward to that one because they have to read my notes, and they're so like, when is going to be that one? Next month. Anyway, I'm drifting again. But yes, I mean, you will probably ask me, yes, Luz, but when I'm angry with him and when life is hard and, the last thing I want to do is to have a sex with him. I'm with you, my girl. I'm totally, totally with you. And it is to do with the fact that for us women, we don't offload. Well, that as well, a little bit. But what really happens when we feel like having sex with man is that we feel it when we feel profound connection with him. Would you agree? When we feel relaxed and happy and beautiful, so connected with ourselves, and when we feel we trust him, we admire him, we love him. That's why men have a lot of sex at the beginning, or generally partners have a lot of sex at the beginning of the relationship, but later on we're struggling, right? And when there's infertility or any other challenges, that's the first, from my clients, what they're saying to me, that's the first thing that goes out of the window. Yes, at the beginning, excitement about having a baby. After half year, 1 year, there is something wrong. You don't want to do it, or you do it, but on a certain day, on a certain hour. Yeah, Alenka is saying sex for women is totally something different like for men, and that's why this subject, Alenka, is so important, and I'm going to talk about it in more detail. But what I want to mention here is, don't punish him denying him sex. If you as a woman don't feel, because your vagina literally opens through the heart, that's how we open, we are open to sex. And I wish this one, men are also listening for this one, because and if you don't feel like it, please do not force yourself, but find a way how to connect with a man in such a way that it goes through the heart. And if it takes time for you to heal your heart, and the argument or the situation you are guys going through is too hard, then make sure you connect on some kind of physical way with a man. And I'm not going to give you details, but you don't have to allow men to enter you to please him. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to say. I'm glad you like this. Yes, we need to feel it from inside emotionally, not just physically. Yes, absolutely. And I think for most women, we don't feel horny if we are not feeling, full inside. And I'm talking about, our heart. So, yeah. Okay, next one. Let me just see how much time we have. Okay, we have some time. So, next one I want to mention is that let's allow for differences. And differences is exactly what we are going to be, again, talking about our webinar on 17th, 18th. I will put the links in the comments. I'm mentioning this again and again, girls, because it can give you so much. We will be talking in much more detail about this. Why to allow for differences? Well, is because we are different. Our brains are very different. Men are hunters and we are collectors. And, our brains has been wired up differently because we had the different roles in those ages and ages ago. yeah, thousands of years ago when the humanity started, it was all about survival. And men had to hunt for mammoths, and women been, collecting the berries and looking after children and making sure the fire is still on when the man arrives and there is enough warmth. So, nothing really, really changed fundamentally in our brains because they've been developing for such a long time. It's just we are almost going against the nature. We are trying to change and shift something that is so natural, with trying to be feminine, with, we are just kind of getting lost in it all. So it's very important to talk about it. And it's very important to acknowledge our differences, that men do have it differently than women, that we are different creatures. And just because, he doesn't do something you ask him for straight away, it doesn't mean he doesn't love you. It doesn't mean he doesn't respect you or he doesn't give a damn about you. That's how we feel often, right? It just means that he is not in your zone. So men can focus only on one thing. And after they finish, they need transition time and then focus on another thing. And then transition time so they can move to another thing. So if the man is watching a football, repairing a car or doing whatever, you asking him about something that matters to you or just, talking about your feelings, you're not going to be listened to. You're not going to have his full attention. And it doesn't mean anything. It just means that he is being a man, doing his manly thing. But without you having this information and a lot of other information that go with it, and how to cope, how to actually deal with this whole thing, that alone, what you're going to learn in a few days' time with us, that alone, if nothing else, is going to make like a huge difference in your relationship, like huge. Another thing I want to mention here is to reach out for support. It's important because, relationship is such a fragile thing. It's very dynamic as well. Have you been there? Like, it goes, it's good, and then something happened, and he's like, and then, you know what, like I described it to you like how it was with us. How I felt in my relationship. I'm trying to be a good wife. And and I was like being a good wife and climbing the, little stairs, little ladder, still being a good wife, doing a good job. I cooked a nice meal, I gave him a cuddle, I listened to his whatever, even though I wasn't that interested, being a good wife, being calm and being happy. And then something happens, it's like poof, dragon, once a month. Do you know that one? Dragon. And I go from, as I was climbing those stairs of the good wife, I just went poof. I went right back down. I was like, oh my God, all the month I was like climbing the stairs. And he's like, suddenly it's all gone. And he's crossed with me. And I've done it again. Yeah? So, there are patterns in relationships that occur again and again. And each of us got a different story. Many are similar. That's why we can laugh together as girls. But fundamentally, we all have the similar patterns in our relationships. Who resonates with that? Like something is happening over and over again. It's very rarely you get pissed off about new thing. It's normally the same old things that bother us. Not just us about them, but also them about us, if we ask. So, being in this vicious circle, whether individually or as a couples, very rarely we are able to come out of this vicious circle ourselves. You know, very rarely we have this enlightenment where it's like, okay, from now on I'm going to be consistently good wife. It's impossible. Even if you have a really strong willpower, it wouldn't be authentic anyway. So reach out for support. And whether it's marriage counselor, it's something that I don't do, but you know, whether it's there's great relationship kind of talks, or you know, even YouTube, but actual person who can guide you through the process, because your relationship is very individual. And the most important is for you to source yourself as a woman, because believe it or not, girls, everything else evolves from us. So if woman is happy and fulfilled, family is fine. That's why they say happy wife, happy life. Men say that, and it's true. You know, if wife is happy, she brings the warmth in the family. She feels like decorating house for Easter. She feels like she wants to go out with her husband. She feels like she wants to have a sex in the evening. Yeah. So, you know, don't be stuck in a vicious circle. Reach out for support, someone who you trust and resonate with, someone who you believe is going to make a lot of difference to you. Like, don't be alone. That's what I mean. And yes, next one is sit down and make a plan. You know, especially talking about infertility or any other problem, you know, financial problems. I mean, it's very basic. Make a plan. You know, sit down together and write things down. Where are we? What options do we have? You know, what kind of things that we can actually do? Yeah? What kind of options do we have? What kind of things we can do? Couples don't do this. Some do, but a lot of couples don't do it, and it's very, very obvious. And yes, you know, compromise is a big thing, and it's very obvious. But do we do it? I don't think so. I don't think we compromise enough. I think we so often are more righteous, and it's more important for us to be right than to have a peaceful relationship. You know, so making compromise, it might be even that little thing when we pause and say, hold on a minute, is this what I'm feeling a reality? Or do I have any part in it? Yeah, if I'm feeling like he doesn't want this baby as much as me, is it true? Or if there is something in a way, am I really listening to him? You know, if he had a terrible experience and he's got another children with his first wife, and he didn't enjoy the fatherhood because the relationship was a disaster, that's why he divorced her. Well, are you really listening to him? Why he is not so in tune with having this baby with you? You know, I'm just giving you some examples. But, you know, knowing why your man is feeling the way he's feeling is so much useful than us blaming them for being the way they are. Yeah? Alenka is saying everything begins with us. We need to love ourselves, understand ourselves, and take responsibility. Yeah, amen to that. But the thing is, Alenka, you know, it's great to read about it. It's great to, you know, hear it in all these wonderful talks. But how do we actually go about it? You know, how do we actually apply it in our lives? How do we actually do it? That's the thing, and that's the missing link. That's why I do what I do, because there is a missing link for many of you who are reaching out to me. It's like, how do I apply this thing in my real life, in my everyday life? Yeah, and it's a process. Okay, I had a note here. Yes, consider fertility coaching. That's the obvious one. That's tuned and tailored specifically to you and to your situation. So that is the one. And yes, one last point. For those of you watching and dealing with infertility or dealing with any other problem like bereavement of some kind, miscarriage, financial problems, problems with the family, give me some other things that are like constraints. I don't know, you're moving house, you're under a lot of pressure, or you don't have answers to what to do with your life, but that's different. You can really carry on long for that, like being in a vicious circle. But those problems who they are not going to last forever. Bear that in mind, please, because I always say to myself, this shall too pass. Everything's got a beginning and the end. Good things as well as bad things. And so, for those of you dealing with infertility, remember, it's not forever. This thing is going to end, hopefully with a happy end for you girls. But it's not something that is going to be there forever. Yes, it is painful right now. Yes, you might be feeling lost. And yes, you don't have to, because you have someone who supports you. And so all I say is that whatever you're dealing with in your relationship, there is a way out. Or he's not the one for you. Or maybe he never been. You just found out. And there's always a way out. Yeah? And in case you're in a relationship when you're thinking, shall I stay or shall I go? And you've been thinking this for a long time, get support. Because the more you connect with yourself, the more clear it's going to be, the sooner you will free yourself up and start a new life. And I mean it, because I've been married before. Okay? And this is a good one now. Yeah, and Adriana is saying, I think I can't see the whole message. You are saying my husband doesn't feel so good in SR as a Slovak Republic. I'm not sure. My husband doesn't. I don't know. You can write me a personal message, because my husband is in Slovakia, if that's what it means. If it means something else, then let me know also. Girls, I hope you found this useful. I saw a lot of you joining us live, which I'm very pleased about. I know a lot of you will be watching this from a replay. So I'm going to let you go. I feel like I need to stretch, girls. Yeah, thank you so much for joining me. That's better. I'm going to have a lunch. Slovakia. Yes, good. I thought so. Yeah, let me know. I'm happy to share. Actually, that's very, Adriana, reach out to me afterwards so I don't forget. I'm happy to share how we do it, and what works for us beautifully, or offer you something. So anyway, thank you so much for everyone who listened to us and watched us, and I hope we brought some value to you. And yes, of course, come and join us on 17th and 18th. I put a link below. A lot of you girls, even last month, we started sharing the 3 secrets. So the secrets, just a recap, what we'll be sharing is about how to communicate with your man so he listens, like really effective things, and a lot of them, they've been even new to me when I've done this research. Second thing that we will be talking about is how to deal with frustration of your man. Very powerfully. We will laugh. We will proper laugh on this. And it's so effective and it's so easy. So I can't wait for you to not only hear this secret, but also to apply it and to let me know whether it worked. And then a third secret we will be sharing is how to allow your man to be your hero. And girls, between you and me, having a sex with a hero is very different sex you will have. So anyway, that's so much from me. Thank you so much for listening, for watching, and let's have a great weekend. I have a sun shining, so I'm going out.